So, a friend of mine, very talented artist, uh, and someone who you may know here from earlier, or other, what do we call them? Other broadcasts is a guy named Russell Facemeyer. He's one of the most talented people I know on the goddamn planet. And he and I were FaceTiming each other yesterday, and he was speaking from his house, and the light that was coming through his window was just turning him into uh, Jesus. We'll just say he had this very this look of godliness. No, not godliness. He had this great glow sort of about him, and I said, "Don't move." And I took some screenshots of him. So I'm going to see if I can. I'm not a portraitist, so I know it said drawing a portrait is the title of this thing, but don't let that confuse you. Drawing a big mess might be the better way to do it. So the light is coming in from that side. And am I going to even try this in color? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to use black and white. So there's light hitting this part of his hair. There's light hitting his forehead. He has very long, beautiful, Jesus-like hair going on. And he has a Jesus-like mustache and beard as well. I think that's about as far as it goes for his Jesus likeness. But there's this lots of hair, and the hair that was on this side of his head, that side, aiming toward the window, was all illuminated. Boy, this doesn't look like him at all. Of course it doesn't. Let's add some dark. Anyway, what I thought I'd do, I took about, I don't know how many pictures of him, but I thought I would make a little animation of him if I could. The lightest part of the whole photo is right there, is the reflection on his left eye. And his cheekbone and his mustache, I've already screwed him up. Nostrils, eye. Remember what John Singer Sargent said about portraits. He said, a portrait is a painting where something is wrong with the mouth. Which is kind of true for those of you that are portraitists. You probably have that same problem. With your portraits. So the highlights on this thing, the light's hitting his tip of his nose, his eyeball, his cheek, and his chin is sort of implied. You sort of see it, kind of what might be a lower lip. Lid. Boy, that doesn't look like him. Anyway, I'll continue doing it even if it doesn't look like him. Hi, Robic. I'm broadcasting live, and there may be times when I say something that doesn't make any sense to anyone. That's because I'm broadcasting live. It's quite hard to see some of his features. In fact, I'll show you that what I'm working from is quite faint. Come on. There's I mean, here's what I'm working from. So there's a lot of mystery going on here. I'm sorry, Russell, this doesn't look like you, but again, you can see how I'm building this image. I'm just using shapes of dark and light. And most of the time they're triangles, like I'm making right now. Sometimes they're lines like that. But they are often just sort of triangles. And this eye is almost, you don't really see anything. You do have a little bit of lightness right here on that part of the nose. And it's a cute little line down there, and then you've got this. Then you have a lightness there, and then this is kind of dark. It's still, I have to do a cheekectomy there or something. Okay, this is rounded, comes down there like that. This is sort of more beard than chin. I think there's a nostril there somewhere. There has to be. There, sort of this whole part, this whole chunk of face is almost one value. There's a little tiny bit of a highlight. Just a little lightness, like right about there. Okay, let's try to make it look like both of his eyes are awake. I think this eyebrow has to go up a bit. And again, you don't see this eye is open, but you don't see any other parts of it. So Robek, why are you watching me? Is there a particular reason? Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick a different picture of him. So here he turned his head to face the camera more. So now his nose is right here. The light part of his nose is here. So what I'm doing is I'm just using sort of the same layering, hello, as I did before. Except changing the point of view. So this is his nose, his eyes are here. He brought his hand up to his mouth. So now we'll get rid of this color fill gray. So now I'm going to merge down. Now I'm going to sort of draw the face now that I've got where the placement of all of this is going to go. I think I have to move this over a bit. Eye, hair, hair. Oops. Now his eye does not have that little sparkle. Really the lightest part right now of the face really is his cheek. And the tip of his nose right there. I think he's looking up a little bit more than he was before. His mustache is here. No, see, I'm putting it in the wrong spot. This belongs more up. Nostril. Nostril. Eye. Mustache. And then he has his hand. I think his thumb is over here somewhere. His hand is in front of his mouth. And let's see here. I hear my cat in the background causing conniption fits. So here you see his index finger. Oops, put it in the wrong spot. The top sort of two joints of his index finger there. Then his middle finger is here. And you have a little bit of that. And you have the pinky down here. He's quite a thin guy, so I don't know if I'm making his face thin enough. Here it looks like he's doing the Mr. Spock routine with his eyebrows. He's not doing that in real life. His hand is all sort of one color. Just maybe a little bit darker right here where you see the pinky finger. Yeah, it's, I'm trying to learn how to do portraits, and I think there's a thumb here doing something, being opposable, doing what thumbs do. Hard to know what's happening in this drawing. So here's the picture I'm working on here. I'm drawing from these rather foggy images, screenshots I took of Russell last night when I was talking to him. And so I thought what I would do is draw these, so, and then maybe make three and then have him move. So for example, you'll see moving. So I thought I'd do one more. Boy, these don't look like him, but that's okay. That's okay. We can we don't always have to have art be perfect. Okay, here he's looking that way. So I will now decide how that's going to work. So now his nose is over here. That eye is there. That hair is there. This hair is now all over this way. His hand is away. Okay, let's see what happens when we add fill gray. Merge down. Okay, so now that's what I'll try to draw over here. His hair is very volumetric and sort of fuzzy. It's over this way. Then there's dark. This is Russell portraying Jesus or something. Nose, mustache. Essentially all of this is just dark. Everything is dark. This is all essentially dark. You do see a little bit of white of his eye. So when you see the white of his eye, you can open fire. Oh, that looks awful. The top of his forehead is lighter. Cheekbone there. Well, he does have that hippie vibe going. So the Woodstock thing might not be entirely wrong. I'm sorry, Russell, that this looks so awful. You do see maybe a little hint of a lip. Again, it's all very blurry. The lightest part on his head is his forehead. And maybe the nose. But then there's all this light that's hitting his hair that you do see a little bit of a neck though. Or maybe, is that his hand or is that his neck? It's hard to tell. Might be a neck. A rectangular monocle in his eye. Well, we don't want that look. Why have we run out of, I hate when this happens. Sometimes the pen just doesn't want to work. Like, why isn't it working? Why does it work on this layer? Why isn't it working? I don't get it. What is wrong? If I add a layer, it'll work. But why doesn't it work when I'm on this layer? Okay, that's working. Why isn't that working? Fuck. Hate this. Is it my pencil broken or what? I tell you what, let's just make the movie. Start. Stop. Okay. Play. How's that? Oh, I don't think I did. I don't think I know how to lock the layer. But that's a good idea. Let's just go back. I don't see any locking. See, black works. White doesn't work. Does red work? Red works. Ah, maybe that's it. Somehow that thing is selected. No? I don't want it to multiply. How do I make it go? Oh, I see. There is something happening here, but I don't understand. I want that to go away, but I don't know how to do that. Anyway, I'll try to figure this out later. Bye, everyone.